What is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you live on a Tuesday. We are home from work today. I wrote the schedule and I accidentally scheduled 3 people at my work today. We normally always only have 2 unless it's like a big holiday or something like that. And I didn't want somebody else to be forced to take the day off. It was like the low man on the pole. So I decided that I would use a sick day. So I'm here on a Tuesday with nobody home. And I want to say this is like the middle of the summer, but I guess the summer just kind of began. But hey, it is what it is. They give you these days, you might as well use them. Today, we're going to be talking about the WWE Night of Champions 2025 show. I put up a video yesterday, basically when I got home from work, kind of talking about like how this show is still going to go on. It is kind of weird to think that there's like missiles being shot into the sky. I'm not the biggest news guy, but it seems that like maybe in the last 24 hours that has kind of stopped. But when it comes to like the Middle East, it is like a problem that has been going on almost pretty much my whole life, where it seems like in one way or another, even if it's different countries or whatever else, there's never really been peace over there. And it's scary to think, like I grew up going through like grade school with Operation Desert Storm. I like bought the Topps trading cards and all that stuff. And I watched, Tom Brokaw on KCRA, Channel 3, NBC. And I don't know. These days, it seems like kind of like you can't really believe everything that's on the news, no matter what it is. There's always some sort of agenda that's being spread around. But we're going to cover WWE's Night of Champions 2025. I'm doing this kind of like as a little bit of a commercial. Last week, I did one of these because normally on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I go live with my friend Jeremy on his channel, the Rock and Knowles channel. It's really easy to break down. It's like Metallica, rock and roll music, and Knowles, like the Seminoles. He's a big FSU fan. He recently got to go to the parade yesterday for the Florida Panthers. I don't know, with the ending of the NBA Finals being with like Indianapolis, or I guess not Indianapolis, Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder. It just made me, keep thinking and have a chance out there that my Sacramento Kings could ever win one of these. I've been a Kings fan my whole life. They've been the only basketball team that I've loved. I grew up an A's fan. I switched to being a Braves fan. I've been a 49ers fan my whole life. I've had a chance to go to a 49ers parade, I guess. But I mean, if the Kings won, I might call out of work for a week. I think that would be awesome. And for him to be able to go to the parade for his team, it would be way, way cool. But we're going to be going live tomorrow. We normally do it like about 5 o'clock my time, I like to say it. So it's like 8 o'clock on the East. If you're somewhere in the middle, you can figure that out. But I know that we're doing it. I just don't really know 100% of the time. Tomorrow is the NBA draft. That's always been a big thing that's been in my life. But the Kings don't have a first-round pick unless they make some sort of a trade where like Oklahoma City, who has 4 first-round picks, has mercy on us. We might not be doing anything. But I don't know. I'll tell you the truth. This is a weird time here in the summertime. We've got 2 really big matches on this Saturday show, Night of Champions 2025. We have the King of the Ring finals, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I believe, honestly, that this could be a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam style match. I think that this honestly could be a headliner if it wasn't for CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. The rest of the show is good. I mean, you've got Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross, Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, and then Asuka versus Jade Cargill. This isn't going to be the best pay-per-view of all time, but it is going to be one that's going down Saturday morning. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to watch this show live. My girlfriend made plans for us to go blueberry picking let me repeat, blueberry picking. I don't know. But this is something that she's really set on. It's going to be me, her kids, my kids, and my kid's mom all going on this trip. So it is what it is. In the world of streaming, in the world of Peacock, Netflix, all those other ones, I do know that as long as I stay off my phone, which is going to be a problem if we're in the car for a long period of time, for me, not to know what goes on. But the second I walk into the house, I can fire up Peacock and basically start the show like it's brand new. I won't be able to kind of talk live on Twitter, which is probably the one fun thing about watching wrestling that there is out there, is to get everybody's opinions and see everybody's reactions as it's going down. But one pay-per-view out of the year isn't bad. I didn't watch every pay-per-view last year. I don't even remember them going to Saudi Arabia last year. I do remember on SmackDown when the Bloodline won the tag team titles, but I don't even really know if any pay-per-view where they've gone to Saudi Arabia has ever been a really, really big show. I fell for the hype of the world's greatest Royal Rumble that Braun Strowman won a championship, and then we never saw it again. They did Crown Jewel last year with Gunther versus Cody Rhodes. Cody won a championship, probably one of the most expensive championships that you'll ever see. The people over in Saudi Arabia paid for it, and they're not even doing Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia this year. So we don't even know if we're going to see that championship again. I think it just lives in that WWE World exhibit that they opened last year. I don't even know if that's still around, if they have just some sort of a Las Vegas or Pigeon Forge style WWE exhibit that's open 24/7, 365, kind of like what we thought we were going to get in Orlando about 10 years ago when they were going to build something on the Orlando City Walk, and they were actually going to have a physical Hall of Fame as well as a WWE style restaurant, and that rumor ended up being debunked. And since then, we really haven't heard anything. I think that it would be awesome if WWE opened some sort of a real WWE Hall of Fame exhibit, even if they had to lease out their name to a private company who would own a WWE style restaurant. I think everybody out there in the world of wrestling fans would want to go to WWE The World when it was in New York, when it was in Times Square. I've never been there. I know that there's a lot of choices up and down, New York City. But I think that even if it was just for one meal, I was always a fan of going to the Hard Rock Cafe in Atlanta every time we drove into the city when I was a kid. And just recently I talked about that with my mom. She travels a lot and she goes places. And I asked her, are Hard Rock Cafes even a thing? It seems like they just own casinos now. You used to think of going to the restaurant, getting a hamburger, seeing all the, kind of Hall of Fame stuff up on the wall. You see AC/DC's guitar or something like that. And she just blasted it, basically saying how much the Hard Rock Cafe sucked. And she hated going there, but she knew that I loved it. If they got somebody to rent the name, I could see TKO doing something like that. Even as you see with WWE Shop and the World of Fanatics, even if the restaurant sucked and they're still making their money, I don't think they're honestly really going to care. But when it comes down to it, let's get down to this Night of Champions pay-per-view. Last time my stream honestly went an hour and 45 minutes. I don't really want to go all that long. And with the information that I have, it doesn't look like I'm going to be talking about this for honestly really that long. But I thought it was really cool to be able to come on here, go live, basically be able to run down all of the matches. Then I can honestly use YouTube to download the stream, and then I can just kind of cut the clips up, which was really, really easy to do last week with the stuff talking about the SmackDown matches, as well as the Gunther versus Goldberg match that will be coming up. That seems like a match that would be on this show. I know that when they started going to Saudi Arabia, they always like to use the legends on there because the Saudi Arabian people were asking for all these names out there. But they've got these Saturday night main event shows. They need main events, and that's a good one, honestly, in my opinion. If this is it for Goldberg, if it is going to be his last match, I'll even give him this. If that match ends screwy and they do it at SummerSlam, again, I'm fine. But I don't want to see a Goldberg match next year or the next year. The dude's 59 years old. Even in like 2 to 5 minute matches, I don't really know what we're going to get. But when it comes down to it, like I said earlier, this isn't going to be the greatest show of all time. If this is a pay-per-view that honestly you miss, I think it's got 2 matches that you catch up on before Monday Night Raw on Monday, and I think you know everything that's going on in WWE. Nothing that goes on here is going to be pay-per-view worthy.